What's up, furry little friends? It's Anthony from hashtag Be the Change. Truth will set you free. And of course, blunt force discussion. I know late last night people were messaging like, what's going on? Are you going to come back and do a live? Are you going to tell us, sort through what is this mess? Hashtag red trickle. I should have stuck to my guns 2 weeks ago when I said that this was the case. I got into the election cycle. I was like, oh, it's looking good. The sentiment is on the side of the Republicans, and the red wave didn't happen. But things are not over, and things have shifted throughout the night. So let's really quick share this out there. I'm going to do about a 15-minute recap, might answer a little bit of questions out there. What happens? Arizona, Pennsylvania, Georgia right now. Georgia, I'm actually surprised that Warnock, based on when I did the math last night at, 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Central Time, I was pretty shocked because based on what counties were left and how much had reported, I thought that Warnock was actually going to be able to pass the 50% threshold. So as of right now, not looking that way. I've also got the tracker up. 61 House seats are still left in play, according to the Fox News Democracy Desk. So 200, 174 is the current case there. The House is the place where confidently, Karl Rove last night, by the way, probably did the best job of being accurate of where things were. Some surprises in the House as well. But there's some seats that flipped in New York that are showing flip. Lawler looked like he's flipping those seats, that seat. So that was a big one. They only needed a couple to flip. However, they need more because it looks like Boebert in Colorado, who was a solid red, not even a question, not even close to a toss-up, is now a toss-up, which is shocking because that's a Trump, obviously one of the heavy Trump candidates, and just a powerhouse when you see her speaking. So very surprising there that is even a close race. The Senate currently tied 48-48. Arizona I'm not going to play the election denier game because I think that in most cases, you bring it up early. Arizona is a case where I am going to have some major issues, excuse me, if Kari Lake loses that race. The polling, although inaccurate, was showing a relatively easy victory for Kari Lake. I think that's weird. Nevada is showing well for the Senate candidates. But the issue with Nevada, I'm going to say, is how is it that there are such long lines to vote? You saw them in parts of Las Vegas and other parts of the state that were in hour-plus to 2-hour long lines. Same with Arizona because they ran out of ink and they ran out of paper in many polling places. And I got that directly reported to me from friends out there, as well as looking at other people that I trust, showing what has been sent to them. So that is really, really shady, if you ask me. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go through some of the questions. And I'll obviously hit the main states and also my opinion on what this, and Dave Barb and I were up late talking about this, and Casey, what this means for Donald Trump, because I think this was, we were saying this is a referendum on Biden. I'm certain that this is, mostly certain this was a referendum on Trump. And Jen, it is disheartening in Michigan, but I was looking at it closely, but I had a belief that it was a foregone conclusion. The cities, if they show up to vote in all of their misinformation and equipped with a lack of information, that's what happened in Pennsylvania, and that is what happened in Michigan as well. This one is just I don't even know what to say on this one. Like I honestly firmly believe that this was a locked up case after the debates. A fact that a state is so entrenched in their blue ideology, and Shapiro, we talked about Kemp possibly pulling Herschel Walker over the finish line. Same with Kari Lake with Blake Masters. However, Fetterman got pulled across the line by Shapiro. Shapiro is very popular in Pennsylvania. He destroyed what's the guy's name? It's like Masterson. I'm drawing Mastriano. Dragged essentially Fetterman across the line. People just voted all blue. Like you were voting for somebody, and I had a handicapped, disabled father. Hate to say it, but this guy is not equipped to literally run a car wash right now, and he is going to be a voice in Senate for major decisions. I want that to sink into the people of Pennsylvania that is currently going through one of their largest crime rate increases in history. That's what they want to do. Granted, that's more of a governor thing, which they don't care about either. Mayor thing, they don't care. I think the Republicans need to refine their message. Your place had no pens, Audie. We shared out of our purses. How in God's name is that even a thing? I'm assuming that's Maricopa. I heard a lot out of Maricopa. How do you not fix places that were broken? Let's see. I'm gonna really quick while we're on here. I'm gonna see where things sit. Let's see. In Arizona, I'm going through the House races right now. Again, House should turn red. I think my 233 to 202 will not happen. I think it'll be a little closer to 225, which is 218 for the majority. I'm surprised North Carolina was that close too. See, JD Vance did a great job. That one was it was a little scary at first, but the way they do the mail-in and then go to that second. So Fetterman won 50-47. Mind-boggling that it was a 3%. If anything, at 1% I could have lived with, but 3%. Let's see. Somebody just conceded in a loss. Let's see which one this is. I have a gut feeling it's New York. Wait for it. My Wi-Fi turned off on my phone. Come back to that. I'm trying to look at where Kerry Lake is right now. So Warnock is at 49.41% with 98% reporting. My math showed that it would be closer to 50. So there's going to be a runoff. Oliver, who is the independent or Green Party, whatever he was, libertarian, got 2%. So he won't be in the runoff. So therefore, that's 2% up for grabs. The question is, who is going to take those voters? You'd assume now that Kemp has already won, he'll get a little bit behind Walker because it's such an important seat. Trump maybe as well. I don't know if that's a good thing or not at this point. Who knows? Laxalt is currently up 49-47 with 77% reporting in Nevada. I think that looks good at this point. Where's my Kerry Lake? Last time I checked, I don't think they've reopened the counting. Again, how does it take this long? How? Going for it. I'll be looking at questions in just a second. I'm upset Myra Flores lost the House race. Key governors. So Lake and Hobbs. So this hasn't changed since late last night. So it's currently 49.67% to 50.33. Within, let's see, they're within 12,000-ish votes in Arizona. So plenty of room on that one for Kerry Lake to take it out, to win it. Right now, again, 200 to 174 and then 48-48. I want to see what this concession is if it ever loads on my phone. All right. So, and Stephanie, this is what I was going to say. And they did exit polls of people. And this is what I said several months ago. We could have the celebration of the Hobbs overturning Roe versus Dobbs, not Hobbs. Dobbs overturning Roe versus Wade. If and again, it's totally up to your choice. That's what makes it America. But if you place this this concept of ultra pro-life ahead of the rest of the issues in this country, this is where it gets us in the modern age. This is where it is. Kansas was a perfect example, which is what scared me. Kansas is an example of a Republican state that when it was on their primary election ballot, they still voted pro-choice. There is, of course, stipulations that you could put in 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it is. But they, even with a predominantly conservative state, it is a pro-choice situation. And the exit polls showed that abortion was in the top three things people voted on. Number one across the board, hands down, was economy. Crime bumped down to 5 or 6. And I believe as though women's reproductive rights were number 3. I just have such a problem, and I know that you can deem it as murder. And again, I don't think abortion is right. But when we were so big with the vaccine, my body, my choice, and then to flip-flop just the exact same way as those that flip-flop the other way, going like, oh, you need to get a vaccine. You must be forced to get it. No, my body, my choice. I don't want to say it's hypocritical because it is two very different topics, but to the masses, it is very, very similar. So again, I think if that wasn't the running point of many of the Republicans, and I know I see that I've lost a couple of people watching right now because I talk about that. I'm just being honest on what I see. I'm being blunt. This is what we see, and this is where the effects were. I can't pull this article up, so I don't know. 220 and 216 is what you're saying. So you're thinking 49-51. So that would involve losing Nevada as well. I don't think we're going to lose Nevada. And Arizona is not over. Let's see. Some places are saying they hope to be done by Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's not out of the realm. I'm trying to figure out who just conceded. I don't see where it came up. Yeah. And again, I would never, this is how I say it. I would never have an abortion. I think the heartbeat bill is very strict, but at least it's open to what other people are going through. And I hate to say it. I know that there is a lot of our followers that are ultra pro-life. Some of our previous hosts, including some of our current hosts, are very pro-life. I just, I don't know. And Nikki, I get it. They did it to us, so why can't we do it to them? But right now we're on that no amnesty side, which is saying, you want amnesty for some of the mistakes you made with the jab, whereas we can say, screw your amnesty, but why would I do that to you? I don't know. That's just my choice. That's my opinion. And this is, again, what makes us a great country. We still have the ability to have some freedom of speech. Let's see where we're at here. All right. Any other questions? Illinois. Yeah, I can't believe Illinois, Pritzker winning by such a large margin. It's like, that state is so effed. Like, come on, people. Like, how can you not be on the side of change? Dave brought up a great statistic when we were texting last night. 75% of people said the country is moving in the wrong direction on a nationwide poll, yet they continue to vote for the same shit over and over and over again. Makes no sense. Got it. And this is the issue with that topic. So you and I are very close. I think I used to be at 12 weeks. I might be moving closer to 10, even 8. So it's such a gray discussion. And there is such a passion behind the pro-life side. I get it. There is such passion behind the ultra left. Anytime a mother wants to take the baby out of her vagina and kill it is fine. And then there's a whole bunch of gray area in between. Because there is so much gray area, I think that is implying why why we can't be so set in our ways on this topic, and it proved to be detrimental in this election. And I'm going to talk about Trump real quick, because the fact that the Democrats had the balls, the DNC had the balls to invest millions of dollars in the campaigns of the ultra Trump candidates, the ultra pro-life candidates in the primaries. They invested in Republicans. If you don't know this, they did. They've admitted to it. And it came out like, oh man, this could, in the last week, the momentum is all going towards the Republicans. This might have been a mistake, miscalculation by the Democrats. The Democrats very rarely miscalculate, is what we're learning, because those races ended up being, the Fetterman. They were the ones that actually propped up Oz and some of the other candidates like Masters in Arizona, which isn't looking good. So they paid for these people to be in to hopefully get the independent votes away and onto their really crappy candidates as well. And they ran a campaign of, this is the end of democracy if we don't fix it. And that worked, which then begs the question, what does Trump announce in a couple of days when he goes on stage? Is he announcing a run for president? Because once he announces, he won't go back on it. And I think that we're learning the DeSantis school won. Greg Abbott was supported by Trump, but there wasn't a lot of hoorah between the two of them. Kemp, who distanced himself from Trump with the election denier stuff, which again, I have my opinions on the election, very firm opinions on the election, but Kemp distanced himself from Trump after that, and he crushed his state. So you start to question from a national level, if we want to make sure our country in the executive branch is taken over, what do we do? Do you put Trump up there? Who, yeah, he's a rock star when he's got the his parties, his rallies, or do we go with somebody that can guarantee victory? And right now, anybody but him probably guarantees victory against what the Democrats have available, whether it's Biden running again, Kamala running in that place, or Newsom. You throw up Trump, they have a chance to manipulate the American voter into false truths. If I said that correctly. Anyways, let's see what we got. How large? What was the question on this one, Nikki? Say it again. I'm looking at this. Yeah, and exactly. Like, again, pro-choice, pro-life is not in my top 15 things I'm voting on, but that doesn't speak for the emotion of the voter. Who won in Michigan? With spots, but yeah, the Whitmer won, which I expected. I honestly, I'm very interested. I mean, if he throws his weight behind somebody and plays kingmaker, I think he's much more effective. Again, that didn't fully work in this election, but that it's different. It's a midterm. It's not the same. I think DeSantis showed, and his acceptance speech was phenomenal. I think you've got, and if for some odd reason, which would boggle my mind, Carrie Lake doesn't win, this is my hope, because then it carries still that Trump mentality, and all they can say about her is that she's an election denier. Besides that, the woman is got her stuff together. I would love to see a DeSantis Carrie Lake ticket, just my opinion, but I know Carrie Lake is ultra pro Trump in a lot of ways. Yeah, show this out, guys. Let's see. DeSantis. The only way Trump can win is if all the election. Yeah, again, and this is a pipe dream. It's just we have to forget, not forgive, not forget either. We have to move forward with the future. Otherwise, the Democrats are just like, yeah, keep fighting this, keep doing this. You're wasting your time. And that was the other thing that something in my mouth. That was the other thing that we learned last night is the Republicans provided all the problems caused by Democrats without how they're going to fix it. And I think there's a reason they were afraid to say for crime issues that they're going to increase policing, because then all of a sudden you lose some of the middle grounders that are like, oh, police are scary, they're racist. So we live in such a pitsy patsy bullshit society that's the problem. How did Fetterman win? So I'll give an example. I don't have it up on my screen anymore. Where is this one? Where is it? There's a dude. His name's Tony. I can't remember his last name. He won in Pennsylvania, Democrat. He's dead. He died, and he won. So the voters knew he was dead, but to tell you how blue that state can vote. And again, I think Shapiro dragged him. People are just like, well, I vote Democrat. I'm just going to keep voting Democrat. And well, Fetterman can't win. So it's just such a entrenched in Democrat ideology, union ideology, all of the above, that they just know one way to vote, and they think it's a risk on democracy otherwise. DeSantis Lake, Stephanie, that's what you said. Yeah. I mean, but again, I don't think Lake, I think, is very true to her words. And she did not beat around the bush yesterday when she said, I will be in this state for 8 years, making all the media miserable, and she's going to run the hell out of Arizona. And, she's got time if she wants to run for president after that. She's young enough. She made it very clear that unless she loses, she won't run for president. Again, people can change their mind for whatever reasons. You could use polling data and say, look, I didn't want to leave Arizona, but the people have called me and I have a greater purpose. You could say that, but the Democrats will use that against her. So again, she was pretty strong in that. Who was the dead guy that won? I'll look it up. I had it up earlier. Let me see if I can find it. It was a House seat, state House seat. Let me see. Give me a second. I will give that to you in a second. And by the way, that woman, the twerk woman, she won by 82 to like 17%. The woman from Rhode Island that did the twerking video, that, again, no problem with the twerking video, except for use that as a campaign promotion. And then also said that she doesn't represent the United States of America. She represents just Rhode Island. So a fundamental misunderstanding of everything. Here it is right here. I will tell you who it is. Democrat Anthony Tony DeLuca died on October 9th after a brief battle with lymphoma, a disease he twice previously beat. 85 years old. So regardless of the fact that he passed away or died, they wanted to vote in an 85-year-old to the Pennsylvania House Democratic. What was it? What seat was it? He's the longest serving rep. Well, not anymore. No offense. So yeah, I guess I don't know. Sometimes they say, I don't know how it works. Each state is different. I know Missouri did this once before, where they elected a dead guy. But anyways, that just shows how they vote. That's how they vote. So I didn't actually follow Billy Prem. There's so many that I did not realize. I don't think I realized how broad midterm and all elections are when you try to cover everything. So I get why there's some races they announce with 5% or 0%. They'll announce it based on what counties come in. I'm a math guy, Nikki. You know this. I love math, and there is very easy ways to determine it that early. If they call it that early, then they know it's that early. Unfortunately, and Billy Prempa is awesome. But again, it's interesting. You are running, and I don't know who he ran against. You're running against just staunch Democrat ideal. Let's see. I had a bartender one time in Pennsylvania because I'm like, why? They call it the city of brotherly love. That's a crock of bull. And the bartender said to me, well, I'm going to explain Philly and Philly sports to you. We don't root for our teams. We root to hate the other teams. That's just what we do in Philly. And I think that goes for their politics, their school. Like, Philly is tough. They're the toughest Democrats in the country. I would not want to go through their public schools, not because of the indoctrination there. I wouldn't want to go through their public schools because I'd get my ass beat. These kids are the toughest Democrats I have ever seen. Waited 2 hours to vote in Middle Tennessee. Again, I think there's some questions on why the polls took so damn long, or not polls. Why why they took so long in lines. We should be so far past this. Wait, Billy Premper wasn't running against that guy, was he? The old guy? No. That's a different. He's not Philly. He's New York or New Jersey. Let me see. What did I do with that? I already closed it. I'm an idiot. Hold on. They didn't even say who he ran against. Of course not. He was just running against. Well, it makes a little bit more sense. He was running against a Green Party challenger, Quinoa Zara Livingston. Well, that's probably why he won. See, sometimes I learn myself. They didn't have a Republican candidate there because Republicans have stopped running in many ways. Let's see, born and raised, you have to act crazy. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for my election recap. If there's any more questions, I'll give it 2 more minutes. He's in Jersey, that's what I thought. Yeah, Bill. I mean, we had Billy on one of our shows. Great dude. I made that joke earlier on a different show that I did. I was like, well, before we were worried about dead voters, now we're worried about dead people winning. It's not the first time, to be very clear. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Please share. As always, if you want to support Blunt Force Discussion, you most likely know how to do it. Not there. That's not. Well, you can do that one too. It all goes to the same place. Give you a heads up. We're going to be taking a basic timeout from the in-person interviews. I'm going to be doing a lot more digital. Brooklyn Patriot is if you follow him on Instagram or any of the social medias, huge following. He is the show this weekend, coming out Sunday. I also have a show with Chance Conrado from the rodeo world. So make sure you're following Blunt Force Discussion on all the networks. Let me see where I'm at real quick. Also, there it is. So if you want to support, please help me out. Definitely in the rears for the last several months doing the in-person ones. That's why I got to take a little time out. Also, I need a breather. Doing all the editing, doing all the clips, doing all that stuff gets to be a little bit exhausting when I'm doing all of it for that show, and also spending about $3,000 a month all in all. So any help you guys can provide. I know we've got some great people on there, and Be the Change USA. Patreon. So thank you for that. And then a lot of people have been buying supplements. He's been out of stock on a lot of stuff at thedrartisshow.com. BFD at checkout for 10% off. Check that out. Some of the stuff's coming back in stock this week. The Docs Viral Defense has been a lifesaver for me while I've been on the road. And of course, if you want any questions about bluntforce.mymonate, if you want to be a rep for that, you want to buy some of those products. How do you think my hair has been looking so fresh? It's those. So check it out. And any questions about anything that I talk about, go to bluntforcediscussion@gmail.com. Shoot me a message. Shoot me a message if you'd like to also be a Patriot Pass sponsor for the Great American Syndicate coming in June to Dallas, Texas at Gillies Southside Ballroom, which is where Beto did not have his celebration party. Sorry, buddy. He was supposed to. Didn't happen by a landslide, almost 1 million votes. Let's see. Take it easy, Stephanie. Appreciate you. Runoff in Georgia. That's what I'm seeing. That's it. That's all we got. Quick cash update. I'm going to do an interview with him this weekend based on some of the questions I saw. He's supposed to have sentencing, I think, tomorrow on his parading charge that he pled guilty to. That's what we know. I'll give hopefully more on that interview. I did a post asking for some questions, so we'll do hopefully about a 30 to 45-minute interview, and I'll post that. Make sure you're following. Go to #BeTheChange.com and make sure you put your email in there, and I'll send you guys a unlisted link on the Blunt Force discussion page. Make sure you're following that on YouTube. Help me out, get to 1,000 followers on there. God bless. Have a great afternoon. Red wave did not happen. Red trickle, and we still might get the Senate. I guess we will find out. Deuces.